I secretly loved him for 10 years. Never thought that even having his child was a mistake. He pushed me onto the operating table himself, saying, "Anyone in this world can have my baby, except you." The mist in the bathroom slowly faded away, and Isabel Lopez gradually regained her senses. Her clothes had already been torn to shreds by the drunk Jason Smith when he first entered, making them completely unwearable. She reached out to grab a towel and wrapped it around herself, but within 2 seconds, Jason Smith ripped it off again. "Jason Smith, what are you trying to do?" Isabel Lopez felt a bit wronged. He had already told her not to hold any more fantasies about him because he was getting married next month to Latina Mera, the daughter of the Mu family. Now, out of nowhere, he barged into her room, rushed in, and demanded her. $5,000 for one night, in bed with me. And here you are, standing naked for me to see all night. I'll give you $10,000 for one night. Jason Smith slowly closed in on her, backing her against the wall, her back pressed against the cold tiles, sending a chill that almost pierced her skin. She instinctively leaned forward, only to crash into his chest. "Jason Smith, don't. Please." She covered her face with one hand, but he forcefully slapped it away. The pain spread quickly from her hand to the rest of her body, and tears welled up in her eyes. "What? Didn't you used to love it when I treated you like this?" Jason Smith sneered. "Don't try to resist me. And don't try to make me angry. Isn't it just a few extra nights together? All those disgusting habits of yours? They're all gone now, aren't they? Let me tell you, Isabel Lopez, you'd better do as I say. From what I know, you've already paid for the expenses your mom needs at the hospital this month. You don't have much money left, do you? If you don't want your mom to die soon, you'd better do things that make me happy." The tears that hadn't fallen from her eyes were enough to irritate him. So after finishing his sentence, he started getting dressed. A stack of red bills was suddenly thrown onto her bare body. "Jason Smith, let's not go any further." She had endured for so long, but finally she spoke the words out loud. Jason Smith was putting on his clothes, preparing to leave, when he heard a hoarse voice from behind him. 10 years ago, she had come here with her mother after her remarriage, and over the years, she had fallen for the brother she should never have loved. Her love had always been carefully hidden, afraid of others discovering it. Just when her feelings were at their peak, the family dynamics changed drastically. Her mother, in collaboration with higher-ups, had cracked down on Jason Smith's father's company, which made Jason Smith's father, Jack Smith, suffer a heart attack and die. On the same day, her mother was severely injured in a car accident and became a vegetable. After that, he treated her like a demon, launching a relentless revenge. Jason Smith heard a cold snort and turned to stare at her. "What? Not enough?" As he said this, he reached into his jacket and pulled out his wallet, taking more money and tossing it into her face. Her self-respect was trampled to the ground. The feeling of humiliation quickly rose from her heart, moistening her eyes once again. "Jason, don't you think the way we're related now is laughable? You're about to marry Latina Mera. You're a perfect match for her, you like her, and she likes you. Please, can we just end this now? It'll be bad for your marriage, won't it?" "Shut up." Jason Smith's voice was cold as ice. "When you approached me, wasn't it to distract me from your mom's situation? In B City, who doesn't know that you, Isabel Lopez, are a sly woman playing me, Jason Smith, around like a puppet? Now that you've got what you wanted, you want to leave? Let me tell you, Isabel Lopez, coming was easy, but leaving, unless I say so, you can forget about it. Then how long do you want me to stay? Until I grow old and die? What if I really die?" Isabel Lopez gritted her teeth and asked. "You won't. Your mom isn't dead yet, and you don't dare to die," Jason Smith said simply, then walked out without lingering a moment longer. But those words struck right at her emotional breaking point. Yes, just like he said, her mom wasn't dead yet, and she didn't dare to die. Even though she had to watch the person she loved most walk into the arms of another woman, marry her, have children, and live a happy life, she could only grit her teeth and endure. She couldn't die. Thinking of this, she almost couldn't stand anymore, sliding down to sit on the floor, her hands hugging her legs, her head buried deep between her knees as she cried until no tears were left. The next day, she woke up when the sun was already high, feeling unbearably thirsty. Slowly, she lifted the blanket and got up from the bed. every time Jason Smith came, it felt like her whole body had been taken apart and reassembled. Just as she reached the staircase, she saw Latina Mera linking arms with Jason Smith as they entered from outside. "So, your pet dog likes morning exercise too. The one we had back home also needed some exercise every morning to feel comfortable," Latina Mera said with a smile. "Oh, Isabel's awake?" Jason Smith answered. Then Latina Mera called out toward the stairs. Isabel Lopez was about to turn back to her bedroom, but hearing this voice, she froze on the spot. Her heart was in turmoil, and her face was filled with awkwardness. "Are you deaf or mute? Didn't Latina call you? Can't you hear?" he asked coldly. "Latina, you're here?" She finally thought of something to say and asked. "I came over last night, but you were still in bed this morning, so I didn't call you," Latina Mera replied. "What's wrong? Were you really tired last night? We've already had breakfast. Do you want me to ask them to get something for you now?" No, it's fine. I'm not hungry now." So she had come last night, but last night he... Thinking of this, she looked up at Jason Smith, but was startled by the cold glance he shot back at her. "Isabel, you missed breakfast. Of course, you're starving. You can't keep doing this," Latina Mera said as she let go of Jason Smith's arm and walked toward her. She linked her arm with hers and started leading her toward the dining room, as if she already no longer saw herself as a guest in this house. "Aunt Kristen, make something to eat, something rich. I'm about to move in, and I need to build a good relationship with my sister-in-law," she said, sitting down with Isabel Lopez. The housekeeper in the kitchen responded, "Okay, soon." The sounds of various pots and pans filled the kitchen. "This isn't..." She was about to say no, but just then Jason Smith walked over, so she swallowed her words. Soon, the food was brought out. "Aunt Kristen, give it to me," Isabel Lopez said, reaching out to grab it, but Latina Mera stood up at the same time to take it. With a muffled grunt from Latina Mera, the bowl crashed to the ground with a loud, sharp noise. "Latina, are you okay?" Jason Smith quickly walked over. "Let me see." The hot porridge spilled everywhere, sliding off her hands. Her hands immediately turned red. Sorry, I... Slap! Before Isabel Lopez could finish her sentence, Jason Smith slapped her across the face. The force was so strong that she, unprepared, stumbled several steps backward, tripping on the stairs by the dining area and falling directly onto the column behind her. A violent dizziness hit her. "Jason, Latina Mera looked at the injured Isabel Lopez and tried to explain. But a shallow, meaningful smile curled at the corner of her lips. "All right, no more talking. You're badly hurt. Go wash up and apply some medicine." Okay," Jason Smith said, and no one paid attention to Latina Mera. He pulled her toward the kitchen. When they came back out, Isabel Lopez was still crouched on the floor, unable to get up. "You're so tough when hurting others, but now you're squatting there, playing the victim. Isabel Lopez, the wedding is coming up soon. If you haven't recovered by then, just wait and see how I deal with you." Helplessness and grievance surged all at once. He had once treated her so well, but now all his gentleness was given to someone else. Her hands tightly gripped her knees, her nails nearly digging into her flesh, but she didn't feel any pain. She was numb. She knew, no matter what, she couldn't embarrass herself here. Using all her strength, she finally managed to stand up unsteadily and walk straight toward the bedroom upstairs. "Jason, Isabel didn't mean to do it. Aren't you being too harsh on her?" "I've been too good to her. That's why she's getting cheeky. She can't even handle something so simple. I've raised her for all these years, and it would have been better to have raised a dog. At least dogs are smart. People, on the other hand, can sometimes bite." Her words weren't loud or soft, but everyone in the room could hear them clearly. At least dogs are smart. People, on the other hand, can sometimes bite. Since that incident, everyone believed that Isabel Lopez, just like her mother, came to the Tang family to destroy it once and for all. But no one knew that she was actually part of the scheme. She remembered that right after the incident, the first thing she thought about was meeting Jason Smith. She wanted him to believe her, afraid that her feelings for him would truly come to an end. He was also frantically searching for her, but their thoughts were completely different. He wanted to find her because he was afraid she might escape, as he intended to torture her to the point of death. Isabel Lopez didn't know how she made it back to the bedroom. She only felt like her heart was being torn apart by countless knives, the pain suffocating her. Her face was still burning. She gently raised her hand to touch it, and another wave of pain coursed through her.